or anywhere like that, levels of air pollution are higher than what's socially optimal. In places where there's no regulation of air quality, what we'll observe is firm will choose an inefficiently high level of output when the socially optimal level of output is lower than what firms would choose to do when left alone. Okay, here's another point. Third point. Is this number 0? So this is a model where for most pollutants, economists would argue that the optimal level of pollution isn't 0. Does this make us popular with the extreme environmental movement? Not the entire, I'm just saying the sort of outer fringes of the environmental movement. No, right? There's a big part of the environmental movement that thinks that the optimal level of pollution for all pollutants is 0. For some pollutants, that's actually true. There are some compounds that are so toxic and have so little usefulness that the optimal level of pollution from these compounds is actually 0. But for many pollutants, such as carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, and so on, the optimal level of pollution might not be 0. And the reason for that is, what do you do with electricity? Do you consume it? Hopefully not directly, right? You consume energy services, so you plug whatever you like into your into the outlet there and charge it, and then you unplug it, and then you use it, because who uses anything with wires on it anymore, except for me, because I've got to protect stuff. But the point here is pretty simple. You get benefits from the consumption of electricity, and we've got to trade the benefits of consumption of these electricity services against the full costs of their production. So what we're arguing here, and this is true for all of these economic models, you've got to weigh benefits against costs, right? And there's an optimal trade-off to be made here, where for many pollutants the optimal level isn't 0, but firms left alone will produce a level of pollution that's inefficiently high. Now, is that okay? This is a lot. This might seem totally obvious, but that's actually quite a lot. How do we feel about this? Feel about this okay? All right. So, may I interject one more picture here? I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm not having my best day today, folks. I'll be better on what's today? Tuesday? So on Thursday. Let me pick another. I need an empty graph here. Which one are we going to get to? I just need an empty graph. Here we go. Okay. Ignore that it says taxes. We love taxes. Okay. I'm going to empty this off again. So we looked at a single firm. Let's think about this from the market's perspective. So take an empty sheet of paper and stick it in wherever we just left off. So the market itself, there's a demand curve, right? Then there's a supply curve, which gives you the horizontally aggregated marginal cost. Right? So we have a nice supply curve, and we know that the supply curve is just adding up private marginal costs across firms. So the equilibrium quantity and price is this. Max, if you're going to draw this one more time, I'm going to take a supply curve and I'm going to whack you over the head with it. All right? I know, but you're going to be really good at drawing demand and supply curves after this class. So let's say there's an external cost, same as before. So this is the marginal external cost that firms are currently not paying. So if I add this marginal external cost to the private marginal cost, what this is going to do is it's going to take my marginal cost curves aggregated across all firms, and it's going to shift it up. So this is MC private plus MC external, which is MC social. Okay? So each firm has a private marginal cost. Each firm causes the same sort of externality per unit, external costs, which shifts up the marginal private cost by whatever the marginal external cost is to get me the marginal social cost curve. So what this picture is essentially taking the last picture, shifting the private marginal cost up to the marginal social cost, and then aggregating across firms. So this is the market picture, right, versus before we had the firm picture. Now what's the new equilibrium? The new equilibrium is Q double star P double star. So this is what's going on in the market, right? So before, what I showed you is the firm produces an inefficiently high level of output and high level of pollution when what's socially optimal is a little bit lower. So if we actually look at the market, the same carries over, right? This is what the firm produces if it's left. What firms produce if they're left alone. Get with the program, Max. This is left alone, Q star, high with low price. This is what we think is socially optimal, right? So this is where the true marginal social cost curve is equal to demand. It leads to lower production, but what else has changed? Higher price, right? Prices increased. So if we just look at the firm left alone here, we're missing a key point here. That firms aren't only producing an inefficiently large amount of pollution, but also there's going to be at the market, at the socially efficient outcome, a higher price, right? So price rises and quantity shifts in. Here comes the fun part. Are you ready for the fun part? Yes, you are. What's the fun part? Welfare analysis. I thought you were going to say that, Max. Q star, Q double star. See if I can handle this today. Consumer surplus, producer surplus, plus EC. And welfare. What's EC, Max? It's German checking cards, are called EC cards, but EC here stands for external costs, right? So let's talk about this for a second. So what I get here from each output price combination is I'm going to get consumer surplus, I'm going to get producer surplus, but at each level of production, at Q double star or Q star, I am still producing pollution. Therefore, I'm still causing an external cost here. And I'm about to make you freak out by some crazy geometry, all right? The dean said no calculus, but nobody ever said no geometry. So you're on the hook for a little bit of geometry here. I'm going to come up with some pizza slices. You ready for this? No, Max. Well, you have no choice. D, E, F, G, H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E. Okay. To do this right, I made a few more pizza slices than we actually need. All right? And this thing in the middle here is H. So let's do the easy part. In the perfectly competitive outcome, P star, Q star, what's consumer surplus? It's going to be A, B, F, H. A, B, F, and H. What's producer surplus? It's going to be C, D, E, and I, right? Area below price, or the area between price and marginal private cost of production over the range of production. So CDEI. Are we done? No, otherwise the lecture would be over, right? So no, we're not done at all. What are we doing at Q star? We're producing pollution, right? We're producing pollution worth Q star units, and each unit causes MC external units of damage, right, in dollar terms. So the first unit causes this many dollars of damage, second unit, third unit, fourth unit, fifth unit, blah, 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 until we get right here, right? So the total damage done by pollution is we just add the marginal external cost up across all units of pollution issued here, and that gives me the total external cost of pollution. So this is how many units I produce. The height of this box here tells me the total number of dollars per unit of pollution in external cost. So the size of this box right here is going to be the total external cost, DJK. Don't write that down, all right? Oh, Max, yeah, I know. Don't write it down. Why? Here comes geometry. If we want to work this out nicely, I don't like stuff that hangs out at the bottom of the picture. It's like a fish tank. You don't like the stuff that hangs out at the bottom of a fish tank. It's gross, right? So this is not so good. Is there a more convenient way of representing external costs? Well, there's another area on that picture that actually has the same area as DJK. So what's the distance between social cost and private cost? Marginal external cost. Does it change? No, it's the same. And it's this wide, right? So what I've done here is there's an area here, which isn't a rectangle, but it's this shape right here, which starts at 0, goes out all the way Q star, and across the whole range from 0 to Q star is MCEXT high. So the area DJK is exactly the same as the area DEFH and G, right? So my marginal external cost here, you ready? So my total external cost is minus D minus E minus F minus G minus H minus I. Why is it negative? Because it's an external cost. It's not a benefit. It's actual damage, right? So this whole area right here is external cost at Q star. So what's welfare? It's A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus H plus I minus D minus E minus F minus G, we have minus H minus I. So welfare is A plus B plus C minus G. I'm sorry. Can you see that here? My label here is getting in the way. So it's A, B, C minus G. Now let's do the same thing at Q double star and see if Q double star actually does better in welfare terms than Q star. You ready? I'm not. Okay, new price, P double star, demand's the same. So consumer surplus, difference between demand and price over the range of consumption. So now consumer surplus is A. Producer surplus, well, producers get this many dollars. This is their private marginal cost of production. So producer surplus is going to be B, C, D, E, F. B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so just make sure. B, C, D, E, F. That's right. What's my external cost now? Let's make it easy, okay? Let's just look down here. We're now producing Q double star. MC is the height of the per unit external marginal cost. So total external cost is the size of this rectangle right here. So it's going to be D plus J. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take these 2 points and I'm going to drag them up and pin them right here. What that gets me is an area like this, D, E, and F, that has the exact same size as D, J, and K. So external costs here are minus D, minus E, minus F. Now let's look at what welfare is. A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F minus D minus E minus F. A plus B plus C. Lars, before you get to ask your question, I get to do my happy dance, all right? So what's deadweight loss here? Oh, I love that choir. That's a good choir right there. Deadweight loss, come on, is G right here. Deadweight loss. Wow. Why is this so wow? This is so wow because what I'm doing now is I am saying that the optimal level of production and consumption is below that of what the market would do left alone. Right? In the regular perfectly competitive model, we said the market left alone will produce the welfare maximizing output level, and pushing it below that level will diminish welfare. What I'm saying here now is if I have a negative external cost, the market left alone will produce an inefficiently high level of output, and we should push it to a level that is lower than what it would produce if it were left alone. Now you get to ask your question.
I thought the area of external cost for Q double star was DJ, so I'm confused as to why when you moved it up, you included H and I.
I didn't. So Q star, right? For Q star, the external cost is D, J, and K. Right? So if you take these 2 points and you pin them up here, you get D, E, F, H, I, and G.
Right. But what about Q double star? Wouldn't that be external also include H and I then?
No, right? So at Q double star, what you want to think of is you want a box that starts from 0 to Q double star that's exactly MCXT high, right? So take these 2 points and drag them vertically up and pin them right here. So this entire area is the same area as this one up to here. It's not straightforward, all right? Drawing it to scale helps you. Now, let me make one more point and then we'll do a quiz, so you didn't come here for nothing. Do I have money on me? I don't think I have money on me today. I'm sorry. I want to give away some money. What? Pay attention. Pay attention. What pushes equilibrium quantity towards 0? Thank you. So if I wanted to push these firms to go from producing Q star to Q double star, I would charge a tax. All right, pay attention. This is big. I'm going to start with this again next time, but this is important. If you don't get this, you're going to be totally lost on the final. So this is the private marginal cost of the firm. What does a tax do? It raises the marginal private cost of the firm, so it shifts up. How far do we want to shift up the private marginal cost here? Say stop. Till right here, right? Till the firm's new marginal private cost after taxes is exactly equal to the marginal social cost. So what you want to do is you want to charge a tax. You want to charge a tax that's exactly equal to the marginal external cost at the social optimum, right? So what you want to do is you want to shift the private marginal cost curve of the firm up by the amount of the marginal external cost at the optimum here. So what you would then get is, like in the tax example, if your marginal cost curve gets shifted up, the firm will choose to produce here at Q double star and charge P double star, which is the optimal price. This is an incredible insight, right? This is the basis of Pigouvian taxation. This is what's behind carbon taxes and all kinds of externality correcting fees. And we'll start with this again next time. So quiz, write your name on top of a sheet of paper. And maybe the last 2 digits of your student ID number, because there's 4 of you with the same name in here. You ready? Okay. This is a yes or no question. Is first order price discrimination efficient? I said it at the beginning of lecture. So is first order price discrimination efficient? Meaning, does it lead to the welfare maximizing outcome? That's actually hard, but good. If you have no idea what I just said, you've got a 50-50 chance.